Alright, figured I might as well start here at the very end. This is kind of like the end goal if we start a game together that this is one of the places we're going to want to get. And right now I'm at an end city, and this one actually turned out to be fairly close to where my little ender dimension portal thingy put me. But so, let's see. Some end cities, not all of them, so end cities are these giant structures right here, and that's a little tunnel I made over. But some of them will get this floating ship, which actually kind of reminds me of like Super Mario World, like the flying ships that you'd have to fight the Bowser family. So yeah, you get this flying ship, and there's usually these things called shulkers around them. And do I have a shulker on me? I do in here. Uh, so they're like these living things, and they open up and they fire at you. But if you kill them, sometimes they drop these shulker like shells, and you can combine them with a chest and get these shulker boxes that are super handy because yeah, you can just store a bunch of stuff in them. And like if you have an ender chest like this guy, you can have access to any ender chest will always have your stuff in it. So I can make another ender chest and it will have all this stuff in it. Um, no matter where I'm at either. So that's kind of cool. But like say I want some more fireworks, go ahead and plop that down, grab a few more so I can keep flying. Go ahead and plop that back in. And do I have... Actually, I think I have to use this one. And you have to use Silk Touch on it, otherwise it doesn't drop the right thing. So, boom, there we go. So now I have two pickaxes on me. It's kind of annoying, but oh well. Anyways, here's where you get your elytra. You'll come in here and there will be a shulker or two, I think usually just one, firing at you. And once you take care of it, your elytra will be chilling right here. Just like so. Boop. Without the enchantments. But then yeah, walk up, grab it, get some like potions and stuff out of here or something. Or no, there's a brewing stand usually over here. And you get some potions from it. Blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and pop that back on. And yeah. So that's eventually the end game. But we have to beat the Ender Dragon before we get to that, and that's... I'll head to where that was. Hopefully I can find it. Get lost sometimes. Try to make this as brief as possible because I do not want to edit this video. That's a task. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it must be right over here. Perfect. Well, if I can fly right into it. Probably not. Please don't look at Enderman. Please don't look at Enderman. Oh, I did! Sweet! Alright. So yeah, here's the where you do the Ender Dragon fight. And normally she's flying around here, and there's these Ender crystals, and they're recharging her health. And occasionally she comes out in the middle, and will perch down here, and then you fight her, and try to take her out. And yeah, once she dies, she drops the dragon egg, and then you get this portal, and that other one over there, so you can go find Ender Cities and get a Elytra, and then this one takes you back home. Boom, and yeah, so here's my base. Oh, I've got a shader on, you couldn't really tell as much in there. But this is just like my kind of crummy storage. It's not really a system, it's just kind of really haphazard. I do have space back here, some powdered snow you can walk through. But eventually I'd like to set up a redstone sorting system. And sorting systems work with hoppers that are these guys right here that basically help you transfer things from one spot to another. And this is a dripstone device that's Ilmango's design, or a dripstone farm. So that's a observer, and that's a piston. When this grows, it observes it, activates the piston, breaks off the dripstone, and sends it into this stream of water that shoots it down to these hoppers and into this chest. And yeah, and you get these. And I've been doing that for a while. I'll sit around and just go AFK here for a while, just chilling. And yeah, eventually you get a bunch. And I think it's four pointed dripstones makes a dripstone block. And yeah, I've also been harvesting a lot of these and a lot of copper. And 9 copper ingots make copper blocks, and you'll see all my copper blocks out here. See, it's nighttime. Let me go to sleep real quick. And yeah, run out here. I'll show you all my copper blocks for a big old build I'm doing. I love this little effect here with the vines, all of them combined. If you only have one of the vines, like these hanging ones, you can fall in between and get hurt occasionally. And if you only have these growing ones, then the same thing happens. But if you put them between each other, then you can just kind of like float through. It's pretty fun. Anyways, so yeah, out here, I love the look of that water. You'll notice I have, where did I put my trident? There we go. What's cool about the trident is if you put that Riptide 3 mending on, or Riptide 3 enchantment on it that you see I've got, when you throw it, you go with it. Boop, just like that. And yeah, you'll see I have a bunch of oxidized copper out here. And yeah, that took a lot of AFK farming. But I actually had several different designs that got me to that point. And yeah. See, also there's this beacon, which is super handy. You have to fight withers for that, and I use pearlescent moons method. Oh man, there's so much stuff to talk about. I'll try to keep this not too rambly. Got my little village over here. I never found a village in the game until I got my elytra and was flying out really far. But so all of these villagers actually came, and it's a mess in here. It's like having a dirty room. All these villagers came. But all these guys came from my mob grinder, and they're really helpful for getting all of these enchantments. You get enchanting books, and yeah, you can have just really good armor and all that stuff. I got them from this thing, and mob grinder. Mob grinders work for, I've got that mending enchantment on there, so when you have mending, when something gets close to breaking, you can come in here and do that, and when you get XP from killing these guys, the XP mends it, and so that's kind of cool. But what else is cool about the mob grinder is eventually, occasionally, you get zombie villagers. And when you get a zombie villager in there, I like to close it off with this guy, little redstone mechanism. Boop. And then I make sure all the other ones are dead, and then I come over here, and you hit the zombie villager with a splash potion of weakness, and then you feed it a golden apple. And once it's weakened, it's vulnerable to being cured, basically. And once you cure it, you can take it out and move it in with the other villagers and give it a trade, and use it to get emeralds or different sorts of blocks, whatever you need. And yeah, so that's how I got my zombie villagers, or I got my villagers in general. There's actually also a little area I have down here. Let's see if I can get to it. Oh, I don't really have a good way to get to it out here. One sec. I have another way. I forgot I totally kind of changed that. But I do have a way out here. So sometimes you have to re-zombify the villagers. And I'll do that over here. Oops. I'll bring them along and drop them down in here. And yeah, see, it all kind of connects. So I'll bring a zombie in here, and then bring the villager over here, re-zombify the villager, then cure him again, and bring him over here. That way you get like the ultimate cheap trades. and that way you can make a ton of emeralds. Otherwise, it's just basically doing an emerald exchange instead of emerald upgrade. And yeah, now this is my base. Got some golems hanging out. Golem. But yeah, those are some protectors over there. And let's see, yeah, copper farm. This was my initial copper farm, was down under the beacon. We have haste and you can do a bunch of mining. And I mined all of this out, which was a tedious task, if you can imagine. And I got tired of it and kind of did the math. I was like, man, I need to make a farm. But one thing that's kind of cool about this is there's this amethyst geode over here, which is really pretty. You can hear them when you walk on them. Makes little ding sounds, bell sounds. I don't know if it's picking up on the microphone, but anyways. They also are how you make tinted glass, so it's super handy because tinted glass is reusable, whereas normal glass is not. And then my second trident farm was right over here, and it was Chapman's design, or not trident, my second copper attempt at farming was this bad boy over here. And it didn't really work either because there's a bunch of axolotls that keep spawning. So, what I eventually did was go way over yonder. It might actually still be active from my last session. And I built this giant copper farm over here. That's based off of Nembon's design that Tango Tech implemented in his Hermitcraft build. And then Crimulus did a little video on, and then Shulkercraft actually. I used their design, but they did some weird changes to it that I had to fix it a bunch. But yeah, this is basically Shulkercraft's version of Cumulus's design based off of Tango Tech's design from Nembon. That's very convoluted, but yeah, this is eventually how I got all the copper, and see, you get rotten flesh that goes down, and copper and stuff, and the rotten flesh gets tossed over there and burnt, and the copper just goes down and gets sorted down to these chests. And sometimes I'll AFK here and come down here and sleep occasionally. But yeah, that's where I got all my copper from. And eventually I'm going to have to, I think there's a beehive over here that I need to get to. That's a broken nether portal. Those are always handy because they usually have these little chests that you get stuff in, but I already harvested it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, a little beehive. I'm going to have to use that for my oxidized copper build as well, because some of it's not fully oxidized and you need to wax the copper to keep it from oxidizing further. Oh, I'm about to die. But yeah, that's pretty much my build so far. There's not a lot to it. It's not really that great. This is all going to be, all this copper is eventually going to be part of like a massive skull. I have a couple huge builds. One's kind of a secret, and then one is just going to be, see, yeah, fully oxidized, partly oxidized. And so to keep it from fully oxidizing, you have to put wax on it. But yeah, so that's the build so far, and just, I know it just seems really silly, but you know, all this took a lot of time to get, and eventually you can do some cool artistic stuff with it, and get like skeleton horses that you can ride and look like a boss, you know, because who doesn't want to do that, right? Right? I mean, look at that guy. Look at him go! Look at him go! Okay, alright, I need to stop this. But yeah, Hopefully I can entice you with this lengthy ass rambly video into playing some Minecraft with me. Alright, bud. See ya.